Alright guys, so this is all of the pads that I have used today. This one is an overnight, and then these I used over the course of the day. I am going to put these in to soak overnight in an oxy soak, so I just use OxiClean and cold water. It's really important with protein stains, which is what a blood stain is, that you do not use warm or hot water. You must use cold. So I just keep a very subtle faucet going, and then I will open all of my pads up face down and just start getting water on them so that it can start soaking through. Doing this one-handed, I think I say this in just about every video, doing this one-handed is not easy. Okay. I'm trying to save you guys as much graphic shots as I can. But basically you're just going to soak these through and then press them. You'll see the color kind of seeping out. And you're just going to do this until each pad runs clear. So the more you press, the more that you'll see stuff come out. And what I do is I take each individual pad and I will just roll it like so and just squeeze. I never wring the pads or twist the fibers because I don't want to damage the pad while I'm washing, so I will come back once I'm done with this process. Alright guys, so at this point I have squeezed out probably about 4 or 5 times each of these pads until the water is now running relatively clear. So now I flip them over. So as you can see, the staining on one of them is quite obvious. On the rest of them, not as much. But I just like to take a look at the toppers. It looks like my overnight, which is this longer one here, has the most obvious staining issues at this point. So what I am going to do now is I am going to plug up the sink, and I am going to go to my OxiClean and put in, you know, a very small amount. I mean, just enough to fill up the bottom of the scooper. And then I am going to whisk the water around a little bit, just because the OxiClean will not dissolve in cold water unless you help it along. And then I will make sure that all of my pads are face down, fully saturated in water. Now I know going into it now that my overnight might have some issues, but at this point I am not going to be stain treating yet. I am just going to be soaking these. And it's a little after 10 o'clock at night right now, and I am actually not going to do anything else with these pads until I wake up tomorrow morning. So we have maybe a quarter of a sink full of water. All of the pads are fully submerged. They will start to float, but that's okay. There's OxiClean in here, and everything is topside down in the water. As you can tell, the water does not look gross, so we might have some discoloration by the time I come back to it in the morning, but before I have filled up the sink with this oxy water, the majority of the menstrual flow has been squeezed out of these pads. So we'll come back tomorrow morning. Alright, so it is the next morning. We are going to empty out the sink now. Squeeze out all of the water, and then we're going to take a look at each of these and see if there's any staining. Again, I'm just rolling these up, kind of making a pad burrito. Alright, so this one has no staining that I can see, so that's good to go into the washing machine. Again, no staining I can see. So far things are looking good. Now this one is a hand-dyed OBV topper, so it's kind of hard to see if there's staining because there's lots of different colors going on. But from what I can tell, no staining. All right, so this is the one that I'm a little nervous about. So just get all the liquid out. All right, so we do have some staining right there. Right here. Not too bad though. Okay, so I have my Fels Naptha bar right there. So I am going to turn the water on. And then with just a little bit of water, just rub the stains. Just checking to see if there's any others. I don't really use too much pressure either. It's just kind of gently rubbing this on the fabric. All right, that is good to go. And then fill up the water again, tiny bit of OxiClean. Put this again face down. Wait until the water gets high enough to cover it, and then I will let this one soak for about 2 or 3 hours. I actually have to head to work today, so it is possible that I might have to leave this in all day, but if I can, I'll get it out before I head to work. So there we go, and we'll come back in a couple of hours. All right, so this is my mesh laundry bag that I put all of my pads in when I wash them in the washing machine. While this one is soaking, I am just going to stick these guys in here, and they will just stay damp in this bag until this one is ready to go, and then I will throw them all in the wash together. I've never had any issues with mildew or anything, having damp pads wait for the stain treatment ones, but I guess that's more personal preference. So I'm just going to stick these in here, and they will be waiting for the stain treatment to happen on my overnight, and we'll come back. Okay, so I ended up going to work, so this has been setting all day long. So after probably about 10 hours, it looks like everything's gone. No remaining stains, so I'm just going to empty out the water, roll this guy up into a little burrito, as always. Squeeze out the water. Just going to take one more look at it, double check that I didn't miss anything. And I mean, this fabric, you can definitely tell if there's a stain, and there's no discoloration. So just going to stick this guy in with the rest of my pads in my mesh bag, zip this up, and I will go in the washer with my regular laundry. Okay, so we are now in the laundry room after the dryer has finished, and I just wanted to show you guys that there is zero staining on every single one of these pads. Even this Minky one that is basically white. Not any discoloration whatsoever. Another mostly white pad, my Wonder Woman pad, which I've worn numerous times. No staining. And then last but not least, our stain treated overnight, which has come out looking absolutely lovely. So if you guys have any questions about this process, just let me know. When I put them in the washing machine, I just use a delicate cycle and then a medium heat,
and I haven't had any issues with wear and tear on snaps or on fabric from putting them in the machine. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks, bye.